This is Trinesha Catrell, and welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I am so grateful to have you here on this journey of self discovery and empowerment with me. In today's video, we are going to talk about auto suggestion, or don't act like you forgot. But before we get started, if you're new here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more uplifting and empowering content like this. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. I'm about to work out, so this is why I look like this and I don't have like a whole sweater and all that. I'm not dressing like it's like not cold outside, just to let you know, just FYI. But the reason why I thought of auto suggestion and don't act like you forget is because earlier today I was reading Acts 3 and it talks about Peter just being able to perform this miracle to allow this lame man to walk. How he took him by the hand and he just got up, like he immediately like pulled him up. And then Peter and sorry, I know I should know this right off because I'm talking about it. But Peter and John were walking with him, but they helped him as he's walking. But it just made me remember that sometimes that's how we are. Like when Peter picked him up, sorry, I'm gonna get it together. When Peter picked up this lame man, everybody around them was astonished. They were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that he performed this miracle. Oh my gosh, like I can't even believe that this happened just now." And it just made me think about how sometimes we forget how good God is and how God performs miracles in our lives. Like we act all shocked and like we really don't know who God is. Like God is that guy, you know? And so, or that God. And so when we're going through life, sometimes we just have this spiritual amnesia and we just forget how good God is. Like how he really comes through for us every single day. Every day we have an opportunity to live, to breathe, to speak, to smell, to do all the things. God has performed miracles in our life every day. Billions of things had to go right in order for us to be here at this very moment. And sometimes we forget the power of God and the power of suggestion. And as I was reading today, I read this and it made me think about God's goodness and the miracles that he already performs. And it made me think about how we really need to take a moment and think about the goodness of God. Think about all the things that God has already done in our lives. So when God does perform a miracle, if you're like me, I'm shocked every time. Every time God comes through in my life, I know he will come through, but when he does come through, I'll be like, what? Me? You know what? I just be so shocked. Like I don't know who God is, but it's so funny how we can get spiritual amnesia and we just forget how good God is. We forget that he's not just going to leave us hanging. He's not just going to say, give up this man, this job, this person, place, or thing, and I'm going to leave you with nothing. And even if he did do nothing, I would still be fine. But sometimes we really feel like God's taking all these things away from us and he's never going to give us anything back. God just wants us to be unhappy. God would never, ever want for you to be unhappy. I feel like that's a myth we need to dispel because sometimes we make it seem like being Christian or having a relationship with God really means having a boring life. Like you just walk around with your nose in the air, judging everybody all day. This is just like what I hear, not what it is. And that's could be the furthest thing from the truth. God is about forgiveness, forgiving, loving your neighbor as you love yourself, really loving yourself so you know how you're supposed to love your neighbor, you know, really being forgiving and understanding, really trying to seek to understand other people instead of just choosing something negative about them to think of. Because we can easily pick one negative thing about everybody. So just as easy as we can do that, we should counter it and pick something positive about every person that we see. Because there's one thing that's good about everybody. Like no matter who it is, well, at least they blah, or they did this, or they did that. And we're not talking about like the real evil people. We're talking about people, like normal people, like people in general, like other people. And I only say that because sometimes we really will pick the one person that's the exception to everybody has some good in them, and we're like, well, that person's pure evil. Like, okay, we're not talking about them. We're talking about people in general. Okay. And so while we're going through life, I think it's important for us to remember who God is and to remember the power that he put inside of us. when we are going through our day, it's really easy to say, "Oh, it's gonna suck. Today's gonna be a horrible day. This is gonna be the worst day ever," and we can just really get beside ourselves and being arrogant and thinking we have another day, and then also just choosing to think negatively. Like earlier today, I woke up this morning super late because I stayed up late for absolutely no reason, trying to do the most. And after I stayed up late this morning, of course, I slept a little later, but I still didn't get my 8 hours like I've been trying to do because it's been suggested by the person who's doing my nutrition and stuff. Because I'm trying to like eat better and then exercise. I have an exercise program that's really pushing me, and so while I'm doing that, I didn't get my 8 hours of sleep, which I feel tired right now, but I'm about to push through this workout. And then after I got ready and everything, I knew I had a full day. So after work, I knew that I had choir rehearsal. Then after choir rehearsal, I knew I had dance. And then after dance, I knew I had exercise. And so tomorrow, my plan was to be at work early. And depending on the time I go to sleep tonight, is going to determine the time that I get to wake up in the morning. And I can't, if I'm planning on sleeping 8 hours, I need to make sure I'm in the bed sleep so I can be up in enough time to get ready to be at work at that time. And so I'm just like, in the beginning of the day, I had a little attitude. I didn't have a bad attitude. I was just a little irritated because I knew I needed to get my 8 hours and I did not sleep 8 hours. I slept probably six because I was up so late for no reason at all. And then on top of that, I something happened with the clothes, I think, and then it was I forgot something or something else, and the next thing you know, I finally get to work, the latest I've ever been at work ever. And I'm just like, "Oh my gosh." And then I get to work and I'm like, I know I have to be off at this time in order to get to this thing in time. And so because I came to work later, I ended up being later for the thing that I had to go to. So it was a whole like trickle down thing. I was gonna say trickle down econometrics or whatever it's called that people always talk about. But yeah, it just trickled down throughout the day, and I caught myself this morning before I really got a full attitude. Before my mood really was messed up, I was like, okay, I need to really change my mindset because I need to suggest better things. I need to start speaking life into myself because I can't walk around all angry and mad because I chose to stay up late. If I want to be getting 8 hours of sleep, I need to go to bed earlier. It's just as simple as that. I can't harp on the fact that I didn't sleep early because then I'm going to be beating myself up all day about something that I can't change. When you're looking in the past, like anytime you look in the past, that's nothing but the adversary trying to hem you up. Like he's trying to keep you distracted so that you don't move forward, so that you're not in purpose. Because just let it go. Just I had to let it go. I had to really spend a moment and I was just like, God, I'm doing this. I did this. I chose to do this. I did this wrong. I did this thing where I started listing stuff. And God was like, so you're trying to be me? Like, am I really trying to be God? And the answer is no, I don't ever want to be God. And also, if I'm not trying to be God and God is the only thing that's perfect, then why wouldn't I think I'm going to make mistakes? I'm obviously going to make mistakes because I'm human. So then I started extending myself grace and I started talking about all the things that I can do to change today, all the things that I can do to be better from that moment forward, all the things that I can do differently in the future to learn from this so it's not just something that happened, but something that I get to do in the future that's going to help me in the future to be a better person. And I started reminding myself who God says I am, the head and not the tail, above only and not beneath. I started saying I was more than a conqueror and I was blessed coming and going. I started thinking about the goodness of God and all the things that He brought me through in the past. I started really looking at the trees and the wheat that was out or the weeds that were out in the yard, in the not weeds, but whatever those things are that grow in ponds or whatever, those things. I know I'm saying it wrong and I'm butchering this whole thing, but you know what? It's going to be fine. Give yourself grace. But yeah. And so earlier today, I was listening to an audiobook, and the audiobook was talking about autosuggestion and how we should just really start to say these things that we want in life. Like one of the things in Think and Grow Rich, it says you should say something like, by January 1st, and then whatever the year is, I will be doing blah. And you talk about the things that you will be doing, and that it's going to come to you in so many different ways, in infinite ways. You're going to be able to receive this certain amount of money that you put in your mind that you're going to start making on that date in that year. And out of nowhere, because of auto suggestion, your brain will be starting to look for ways for you to make more money. And you can't, there's gonna be that one smart aleck that's gonna say something like, "Oh, well, I've been thinking I want to be a millionaire forever, and I'm still not a millionaire." That's because you doubted yourself. You doubted God, and you doubted yourself, and you started saying, "I can't do it." Either that, or you worship the money instead of just letting it come to you. And you can never receive anything you're chasing after. Everything is supposed to just flow in life, and that's with people, places, and things. Like, you ever notice that person that you really, really like is like they kind of like you ish? That's because you're doing the most. Because we be doing the most. But when you just be like, "Oh yeah, that's fine," like you like them, but you're not being all extra about it, that's when they really like you more. That's because you're not doing the most. You kind of just have to just relax. Just let God, let go and let God. Let Him just do the things that He needs to do in your life. Let Him bring the person to you. You don't have to be like wearing whatever extra stuff that you think you got to wear to get the person. You don't have to be wearing heels that your feet are screaming in just to get some man that you gonna wear tennis shoes with when you get in a relationship. Like, you don't have to be doing the most. You really just have to be yourself and just be the best version of you. Just keep trying to get the things that you want in life and allow God to be able to give you those things. Don't block your blessings talking about some, "I'll never be a millionaire." Nope. We're gonna stop that negative talk today. If you really want to be a millionaire and you're not going to worship the money and you're going to help other people, keep saying you're going to be a millionaire. Allow God to show you different opportunities and place ideas in your mind so that you can be able to make this money. Because if you really want to be wealthy mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally, you just have to let go and let God. You just got to, instead of chasing the money, instead of chasing the man, instead of chasing all these things, you just have to be. Just live your life to the fullest. Enjoy every moment. Just enjoy where you are right now. You don't have to chase anything. You just have to be who you are. And I know people are gonna say, "Oh, people say be who you are," and blah blah blah. Be the best version of yourself. I don't mean cut up and act like you don't have no home training. Act like you were raised well. Go out in the world, be the best version of yourself, and everything you want will be given unto you. For those called according to His purpose, you don't ever have to want for anything in life. When I'm going through life right now, there's nothing I can want for. God gives me everything. It might not be the things that I want, but it's the things that I need, like everything that I need. And I know some people got confused because I said I want for nothing. That's just the old school saying that older people used to say, and I just carried it over to this video. But I mean, you need for nothing, not you want for nothing. But the saying goes, you want for nothing. So just to clarify. And also, when with God, I literally don't need anything. I have everything that I need. And so sometimes it can cause me to get a little complacent because I'm like, "Okay, I'm good. I'm content right here." And God's like, "Uncomfortableness, like, I'm gonna make you uncomfortable in this moment." And I'll be like, "Goodness gracious, I was just about to lean back a little bit and just be comfortable in this spot." And God's like, "Not today. You said you want to be uncomfortable. I'm gonna make you uncomfortable because you got more in you. You got more that you have to do in life, and you can't do it in the comfortability zone. You can't do it in the comfortable zone. You got to be uncomfortable in this life in order to push further, in order to go harder, and in order to be better. When you're exercising, every time you push a muscle, like you're lifting more, you're doing something else, your muscles are breaking. That breaking is necessary so that you can get stronger. That's how it is in the spirit as well. All the breaking that's happened, all the things that God's breaking off of you is happening so that you can get stronger emotionally. God is making sure He is molding you like a potter in the potter's house so that you could be the person He always created you to be. Don't ever feel like God just forgot about you or He's just making you go through something. No, He's prepping you. He's molding you. He's positioning you for purpose because there's greater in you. Don't doubt yourself. So when God gets ready to perform this miracle in your life, don't doubt God because He always comes through. And don't speak negative over yourself. Start suggesting a better life, and you will soon see your life get better. Start being grateful and thankful in the morning, and then just speak those things that are not as if they are, and it will be. So thank you so much for watching. I gotta go because I got, oh my gosh, it's so late. I oh whew. I just, you know, we're not gonna talk negative. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna crush this exercise. I'm gonna do everything that I can tonight in the period of time that I have allotted, and then I'm gonna get to sleep so I can get my 8 hours, and I'm gonna crush this thing. And then tomorrow morning I'm gonna wake up refreshed, God willing, and it's gonna be what it is. But thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys probably Sunday. So just a little heads up. It probably will be Sunday. If I get an opportunity to be here tomorrow, but I have like a full day packed, then it will be super late when I get on here. So it probably won't be tomorrow or Saturday because Saturday usually doesn't. I end up spending time with the family or whatever else. But Sunday I will definitely be on here. Probably normal time. It's probably not gonna be late because it'll be right after church. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys soon. Have a good night, and don't forget to believe in yourself and that you are that person. That God, you're the person that God created you to be. Keep striving for better, and it will happen. Bye.